January 1959. The Soviet Union was deep in the middle of the Cold War. The state stood above everything, and some questions were never meant to be asked. In the northern Ural Mountains, there was a region rarely marked on maps. The local Mansi people called it Kholat Syakhl. Its meaning was simple: Mountain of the Dead. This name was not a legend. It was a silent record of those who had lost their lives there over centuries. And in the winter of 1959, this mountain claimed 9 more young lives. 1. The journey begins on January 23, 1959. A group of 10 hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set out on a demanding winter expedition. The leader of the group was Igor Alexeyevich Dyatlov, 23 years old, experienced, disciplined. The route they chose was classified by Soviet standards as Category 3, one of the most difficult levels possible. But this was not an inexperienced team. They had climbed in temperatures as low as -30 degrees, experience with military-style discipline, strong physical endurance. During the journey, one member fell ill. Yuri Yudin was forced to turn back on January 28th due to severe pain in his knee. That decision saved his life. The group now consisted of 9 people. 2. The last night, the night of February 1st, 1959. The group deliberately deviated from their planned route and pitched their tent on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl. The conditions were brutal: -25 degrees Celsius, violent winds, visibility nearly zero. Under normal circumstances, they should have camped in the forested area below. But for an unknown reason, they chose the exposed slope. That decision would come at a heavy cost. This night would be the last night they were alive. 3. The disappearance. The group was expected to return by February 12th, but no one came back. At first, there was little concern. Harsh winter conditions often caused delays. On February 20th, after families began demanding answers, a search party made up of Soviet military personnel and volunteers was dispatched. On February 26th, the tent was found, and at that moment, everyone froze. 4. The tent. The tent had been cut open from the inside. This detail was critical. The hikers had fled the tent, without shoes, without coats. In a state of panic, footprints were clearly visible in the snow. They led from the tent down toward the forest. There were no signs of running. The tracks were orderly, which meant one thing: they were fleeing from something, but not in complete chaos. That made it even more disturbing. 5. The first bodies. At the edge of the forest, beneath a large pine tree, 2 bodies were discovered. Yuri Doroshenko, Georgy Krivonishenko. They were almost completely undressed, barefoot with burn marks on their hands. The branches of the tree were broken, as if someone had desperately tried to climb it. But why? 6. More discoveries. Along the path leading from the forest back toward the tent, 3 more bodies were found. Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, Rustem Slobodin. Their positions suggested they were trying to return to the tent, but they never made it. Slobodin had a fracture in his skull, yet the official cause of death was listed as hypothermia. He had frozen to death. So where did the injury come from? 7. The most horrifying findings. In May, when the snow finally melted, 4 more bodies were discovered. They were found in a stream bed. And here, the case completely defied logic. Lyudmila Dubinina. Her tongue was missing. Her eyes were gone. Semyon Zolotaryov. His chest cavity was crushed. And yet, there were no external signs of trauma. Injuries of this severity were typically seen only in high-speed car accidents. But there was no vehicle, no explosion, No evidence of a Fight 8. Even stranger radiation was detected on some of the clothing. This information was hidden from the families, removed from official files. Soviet authorities closed the case with a single statement. The deaths were caused by an overwhelming natural force. That sentence explained nothing. 9. The questions. Why was the tent cut open from the inside? Why did they flee without shoes? Why were some of them better dressed than others? Why was radiation present on their clothing? Why were documents concealed? And most importantly, what forced them out of the tent that night? An avalanche, a military experiment, a secret weapons test, something not human. The case was officially closed in 1959, but the truth was never forgotten.